Hello, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming down to our session on transitioning group policy to MDM. My name is Dave Randall. I'm a senior program manager in the Intune engineering team, and I'm joined by my coworker.
Hello everyone, I'm Shiv Patel. I'm also a program manager on Microsoft Intune. We'll be presenting to you on group policy and all things policy.
So how many of you guys saw Microsoft Endpoint Manager and were a little bit surprised about that particular announcement? Okay, surprised. Excited? Anybody excited? Anybody a little concerned, not quite sure how all of it's going to fit together? Yes. Yeah? Okay, so hopefully Shiv and I will give you a couple of little pieces of the roadmap that will help on your group policy to MDM policy-based migration. But I'd encourage you to take a look at some of the other sessions from the Intune and Configuration Manager team, because one of the things that we really wanted to do was provide you with a lot of content that helps you understand exactly where each of those different products are positioned, what workloads are supported best on both, and how that will continue to build out in the future. So let's take a look. Here's what I want to cover. First off, talk a little bit about some of the different benefits that exist for policy management today. In modern policy management, we'll talk about making the transition and how you can do that effectively. Some of the different ways that you'll end with either group policy management or MDM-based policy management. And then we'll give you a demo of some tools that will help make that transition much easier for you. So if you're a cloud-only customer, how many of you guys are cloud-only? You're doing PC management or maybe MDM, mobile device management, cloud-only. Okay, I have one lone participant in the middle of the audience. Okay, so if you happen to be in that one, some of the different scenarios you might be is you're a new organization, you found out that, hey, doing all of this IT stuff in the cloud might be just the best way to get started. Or maybe you've got mobile workforces, and so some of those remote locations you want to be able to manage with cloud only. Or maybe you've got mobility and a desktop team that have merged together, and you decide that being cloud only is just a reasonable way to go. But if you're in any of those cases, one of the big benefits that you get is you don't have to worry about on-premises infrastructure. You can leave your domain controllers aside. You can let the cloud-based management take care of that for you. Or you also have a single pane of glass view of all of the different devices, whether they're mobile devices or desktop devices, because they're all managed from the cloud. Now, you probably saw some of the demos from Brad Anderson or maybe Paul or Terrell about how we're converging that view of all of the different devices, including the on-prem managed SCCM agent-based devices. So you'll continue to see that cloud-based console merge all of those, even though some of those devices with Configuration Manager are on-premises. So a lot of you find yourself more in this position where you've got a combination of devices that are being managed on-premises. You've got some that are being managed in AAD, AD registered. You've got, how many of you guys are on this multi-year Windows 10 migration? Okay. All the rest of you, all done? Everybody's on Windows 10? No? You got a lot of, congratulations to all of you that have got your migrations done. I know that it's a tough challenge for you. So there's a lot of customers who are in this position, or you've got resource access needs for getting access to on-premises devices, servers, shares, and what have you. But if you're in this case, then one of the things that you get by having cloud-based management for your policy is the ability to do analytics and compliance reporting on those devices from a centralized way. Or you can have conditional access to both your on-prem and your cloud-based resources. So Azure Active Directory can gate whether or not your users are on compliant devices using the right applications to access your cloud-based resources or on-prem resources. And again, you've got a single view of all of those devices. So in any of those conditions where you want to get the value out of the cloud-based management of policy, you might not know exactly how to get there. It might be a little bit confusing about how you get to manage from where you're at today with group policy over to MDM-based policy for Windows. So these are the types of problems that I see most customers have. First off, there's a bunch of gaps in the policy. When you look at the list of all the MDM settings that you have in Intune, you go look for your favorite one, and it's not there. And you've got that over in group policy, and you've been able to manage it for a while, but if it's not there, it's kind of hard to move. Or you may have some issues with conflict resolution. You don't know exactly if you've got a setting in GP and you've got a setting in MDM, which one wins. There's a funky little setting that is MDM wins over GP, GP wins over MDM, but it ends up being really difficult to do that conflict resolution. And tattoo removal is not particularly easy. Reporting is not particularly easy. And then in group policy, you're typically targeting to an OU. And of course, we don't have organizational units in Azure Active Directory. You have AD security groups. And so there's no real one-to-one mapping between the two of those, or at least if there is, that's something that you're handling on your own. And there isn't an automated way to do that. So these are the typical challenges that we see. And so now what the Intune team, the Azure Active Directory team, and the Windows Client team are all working together to address these from a couple of different perspectives. The first off is that we've been working with the Windows team to fill a bunch of the gaps in MDM. So for the CSPs, sometimes a CSP might have 10 settings, but GP had 12. So we go back to the team and say, hey, we need you to add an extra 2 to that. So we've been doing monthly reviews with the team to go back and figure out what those gaps are and get them filled. That's an important piece of work that we're doing. There's another area that we'll probably never end up having CSPs for, or configuration service providers, and that is some of the client-side extensions, or CSEs. And so we're working with the team, and Shiv will show you a little bit more about the CSE wrapper. But this is a little bit more, I'll call it kind of a Swiss Army knife, of being able to use a configuration in Intune to set settings on client-side extensions. So stay tuned for that. And then we're working with the Azure Active Directory team to do a better job of being able to build out dynamic device group-based security groups. You know, how many of you guys are using collections in SCCM today, and you're basing that on hardware inventory, and you're sad that you can't use all that same wonderful, rich hardware inventory to create your dynamic device groups? So that bit of feedback we have with the Azure Active Directory team, and they're building out additional rules and capabilities to create dynamic device groups that more closely match your business needs. The next area that we're doing work in is adding some new features. So the most important one of these features is a tool that we'll show you called Policy Analytics. And it's really intended to help you understand where you are today with respect to all of your group policy and where can you get to tomorrow. So if you think, if I ask, let's see, how many people have had at least 5 separate individuals in your organization configure, set, and make changes to at least one GPO? Okay, and how many of you out of those 5 people have at least one of those people still remaining in your organization? Yeah, so a lot of times there's lots of great historical knowledge about why you set settings in group policy, but it's gone. You've lost it. It might not have been documented. And so our Policy Analytics tool will help you understand exactly what your profile looks like today so that you can make a good assessment about where you can get to tomorrow. And then the last area is talking with customers about how exactly they really went from GP to MDM. So I've got a really, I've got a favorite customer who I've been working with. I met him earlier this week, and I asked him, how long did it actually take you to get from 0 MDM to 100% MDM? And he was honest. He said, I'm not there yet, Dave, but I've got at least 90% of all of my group policy covered in MDM now. And of the remainder, I've got a tactical way to go deal with all of the rest of those gaps. And through some of the tools, I gave him a little preview of it, some of those tools will help fill that gap as well so that he can get to 100%. And I said, how long did it take? And it's a year. So it's not the kind of thing that for most organizations, you're going to be able to click the button and all of a sudden all group policy now becomes MDM and life is good. I realize that. And you're also probably not going to actually need to be completely off of GP. There's a lot of good reasons for having GP, and I don't mean to say that just because you've got group policy and we're talking about migrating to MDM, that means there isn't a place for group policy. There still will continue to be places where group policy makes sense in your organization. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Shiv to cover some of the different capabilities that we have and how you can make this actionable in your environment.
All right, everyone. So Dave did a good job of explaining, the benefits of MDM policy, as well as some of the issues that some of you have faced, and then how Microsoft is actually going to address them. We really consider it to be a modern transformation, but as Dave mentioned that, group policy still has significant investments in most of your workloads, and it's for good reason. It's very powerful. It has tons of policy configurations that aren't available in the cloud. But we really see the modern transformation as kind of the way that policy is configured in Active Directory as well as SCCM to try to migrate the policy workload over to Intune, right? And you've already used Intune for conditional access, and you know how powerful that is, and end users are able to get rich configuration of compliance reporting and stuff. But there's tons of benefits to migrating your policy workloads over to MDM as well, which Dave mentioned as reporting, conflict resolution, things that only the cloud can give you. So we really see the transformation as 3 steps, right? One of them is using case studies that Microsoft has published, as well as our huge MVP community has published, to help guide you customers in getting to the cloud and see what is doable and what's not doable, and then really assess for yourself whether you're ready for the transformation or not. The second tool is really the analytics tools that we're building out. I'll show you a demo of one that we've been working on for the past 6 months to a year. We really think that that's going to help customers map their group policy settings to MDM settings, and then also help with that transformation to see if you're ready to migrate those over, or if you really need to stay on group policy for as long as you need. And then the last piece is kind of around the infrastructure pieces. We're going to notice with this exercise of giving our analytics tools that there are some gaps, and the Microsoft team internally will go ahead and address those gaps with the client team, as well as build infrastructural pieces like the CSE wrapper that helps address those legacy gaps that we'll never have support for in the MDM stack. So I'll start with the CSE wrapper, right? The goal of the CSE wrapper is to provide essentially a configuration service provider that a cloud service like Microsoft Intune can use to easily set policies like registry settings, as well as audit settings and map drives. Things that you have a real requirement to have in an MDM world. However, that gap between what was available in GP and what was available in MDM kind of hindered you from actually getting to MDM. The CSE wrapper is our way of saying this is a tool that you can use using the MDM channel to help configure those settings and see if it helps you drive the needle further in your MDM transformation. Obviously, things that are out of scope in this exercise are on-prem printing issues and things like that, but as we learn from you guys in your transformation and what gaps you guys are noticing, we'll help address those gaps on our end as well. What is the current reality of the migration effort? So obviously, as Dave mentioned, certain customers that we've been working with for a very long time haven't been able to go 100% MDM, and that's totally okay. We think that there are some tangible benefits that any customer that migrates to MDM will notice. However, there will always be the delta that customers are going to really have to evaluate. Do you want to address those, or do you want to keep those in a group policy environment? We think this is a good opportunity to kind of not scrap all your legacy investment in group policy, but really start fresh. Do you need all those policies you've configured? Or can you start with a security baseline to be like, hey, this will get me 80 to 90, usually more percentage of the way there to secure your end users' machines. And then you want to do a case-by-case basis for the rest of the policies. You really want to review the old group policies that you don't think are relevant anymore to see if you want to keep them in the new world. And then also, the settings that aren't available, you don't want to just scrap the entire MDM migration because you have a couple settings here and there that aren't available. Because there's 2 parts of this. Some of it will be that you guys are going to be doing the exercise of trying to evaluate whether those settings are really important or not. And then the second piece of it is also making sure that the Microsoft team can kind of help address those gaps if they really are blocking issues. And as the best practice, we'd recommend start fresh with an MDM enrolled machine so you can see the benefits of it, right? So that you have a North Star for you guys to get to. And then the last piece is, as we mentioned, you might have 90% of the way there with MDM and with security baselines, but we'll notice that obviously if you configure group policy as well as MDM on the same machine, you might have conflicts, and those conflicts are hard to troubleshoot. So rather than get into that conflict mode, make sure you have that mindset of, we really want to make sure that you're configuring MDM for specific policies and group policies for the rest of them. There's still some things you're going to have to do, and that's okay. It's a transformation. It requires work from the customer as well as from Microsoft. Some of the things being, obviously you know that a group policy has a very, very complicated targeting structure from organizational units to AUs and all that stuff. And the way to bring that over to Azure Active Directory is really just a simple flat list of users, groups, and devices. So we'll have to map out the OU to the AAD way of security groups, but there are tons of tools out there to help you with that. And if you feel like that's a gap that you guys are noticing, that maybe PowerShell or some mechanism on the internet right now is not helping you with that, that's something that Microsoft can also help you address. And then obviously retain for those devices that are always going to be on-prem, never going to be out of the context of a traditional network boundary. For those devices, leave it in group policy until you're ready to get those devices out. And if you're not ready, that's totally fine. And then the last piece of it is really, after working with our MVP community, or the most valuable professionals, we really noticed that the CSE wrapper is one of the biggest key functionalities of the entire migration process, is to be able to use a wrapper or an API using Intune to configure registry-based and audit settings and map drives. That should help you with some of it. And if it can't, then obviously we're actively investing in the MDM platform to help address those gaps. The next piece of it is the policy analytics demo. All right, so this is something that we kind of have in private preview at the moment, and we really want to get customer feedback, as well as if you're interested in private preview, we really want to flight your tenant for it. So feel free to reach out to us either after the session or at booth duty from 5:15 to 6 p.m. today. But essentially what we want to get at is the ability to import your group policies into the cloud, and then have Intune essentially run the analytics behind the scenes to say, this is how it maps to an MDM policy, and then you can see that this is cool functionality, but at the same token, there's a very much of a V-next that we can do. Some of it being migration, things like active investments in helping you with the workspace that helps you address some of these notes and things like that. So give me 1 second. So for those of you that use GPMC, the tool is pretty simple. You go into GPMC, you right-click your group policy backup, and you export them, and then import them into Intune. And what Intune will do is run a full analysis on how much support we have for it in the MDM stack, and essentially give you a report. And this is where we're starting with. We can clearly see that these are the settings that you've configured in your group policy environment. Does it have MDM support? Yes. It'll also give you the CSP mapping, so if you want to go ahead and manually map them, you can do so, while we're actively in the back end trying to carry on investments with the migration effort. So that way you actually get a full policy with all the group policies that you've configured, and then all you have to worry about is the targeting structure, which there are tools out there to help you with that as well. Do you guys think that this is helpful in your migration efforts? And if they are, yeah, cool. Well, that's good to hear. And we also want you guys, oh, great. And we also want you guys to get flighted for this and try it out in your Intune tenant today. So if you have tons of group policies that you feel like you want to re-exercise the fact of, do we have MDM support for this? Then this is a great tool for you guys. Also, in that effort, you want to reevaluate whether some of those group policies are even needed. And if they're not, then you can clearly scrap those. And if you can't, we have security baselines and tons of other investments that we're working on that will help you guys get to the cloud much faster than you guys trying to figure it out by yourselves. Cool.
All right, we're right at the top of the hour. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to invite you for two things. One, Shiv and I will be back at the Intune Configuration Manager, Microsoft Endpoint Manager area. And we'll be there to answer some questions. So if you've got questions, please make sure to head back for that. Also, that's your opportunity. If you're interested in flighting a pre-production tenant, or you've got a production tenant, you want to try out this capability, let us know and we'll get you on the list for a private preview of this. And then the last thing that I'll say is both Shiv and I are doing a repeat of this particular session. My apologies, there's a portion at the beginning of that. It'll be a 45-minute session, so you'll get to hear us say very much the same things for the first 20 minutes, but we're going to take a deep dive on that particular demo. So you'll get to see more of the capabilities and also some of the thinking that we've got behind additional features that we're adding to the policy analytics to help with the automation piece, not just the reporting and the understanding. So if you're interested, come to that session tomorrow. You can search for either Shiv or Randall on your application and find us for tomorrow's session in the afternoon. Thanks so much for your attendance.
And then before you guys head out, we'd love feedback on our session. If you guys liked some of the stuff that we talked about, please evaluate that feedback in the app. And if you didn't, please tell us that so we can improve and kind of help you guys better.